Please welcome the superfan of San Jose State Spartan Athletics, DAC, the SJSU DAC. What's up, my friend?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, all right, how are we going to be able to hear him?
Yep, yep.
How's it good? All right, man. So, where did this idea come from? How did this all come to fruition?
All right, so yeah, starting off, I'll just tell it from this year. So yeah, it was about early October. I was thinking about later in the month because of course October is the Halloween month.
Mm-hmm.
So I let my roommate know. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna buy a duck mask. So I'll just walk around campus with a duck mask on. And then once it arrived, it hit me. I was like, what am I gonna do with this duck mask after Halloween? Am I just gonna let it sit? Am I just gonna let it like just chill in the basement or something like that, or just let it sit in like a box and like never touch it again? So my roommate came up with the idea. He was like, hey, you know what? Why don't you show up to the San Jose State football game on the homecoming game, which was against San Diego State, which was that Friday. So he was like, hey, why don't you just show up and start cheering in that? So I showed up, put the mask on. It's quite an experience, I tell you that. The second I put it on, everybody around me was either like horrified, they're all laughing. It was the weirdest reaction ever, but I was like, okay.
I mean,
Crazy.
when I first actually physically saw you was at the Thanksgiving game, the game against Fresno State.
Yeah.
And I looked and I saw you and okay. I was like, I understand Crazy George. I was like, so it's not out of the realm to think that there could be other super fans out there that would come out in their own, attire and everything else. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then I'm seeing you more and more. And then San Jose State Athletics is starting to post a lot of or retweet and like a lot of your social media stuff. I'm like, all right, this kid's making some noise.
Yep.
And then I'm over here seeing you at the
tournament,
the spring game.
Oh, okay, the spring game.
Spring
Oh yeah,
and then I also saw the little background story that they had with you at the tournament over there. I was just like, okay, so this kid is really starting to. So I understand you just got done with your freshman year.
Yep.
Your freshman year. So you got what?
Yeah,
3 more years.
Yep. 3 more years of Spartan Athletics support.
And that just became a thing. You just start. Where did the bread idea come from? It's just that was all part of the costume. And everything like that you got for Halloween.
I made the connection because like normally when people like, even though it's unhealthy for them, normally when people see ducks, they like have the conception of like giving it bread or something like that. So I kind of made the connection to let's get this bread, which is saying like, of course, let's get the money. But in terms of Spartan Athletics, let's get the win. So I kind of made the connection with ducks and bread, and that's kind of where I started carrying around the little bread toll, if you can see in the background somewhere back there.
So, yep, see it just right in the back corner there. But I know it gets hot. Ooh. I've been to plenty of games, especially in football and everything. And with that turf, you're coming off with that. It is an absolute nightmare. Yet, and I'm in shorts and a shirt. And I look at you, you're in a fucking hoodie. You're in a hoodie and a duck mask in like what essentially triple digit weather. Going, okay, so me and a couple of my partners were wondering, he's got to have some sort of air filter coming through somehow, some way. There's no way you are oven cooking yourself in that mask for the entirety of the game in triple digit weather. You've got to have something underneath there, or is it all
mask right here? The only filtration or the only air flow I have is these 2 holes which I see from, and these 2 little side things. Nothing to. But hey, if I'm enjoying what's going on the field, then I'm okay with that little sacrifice.
Oh my god! I bet you get home and when the cameras are off and nobody's like, you finally take that thing off. Fresh, cool air that you can actually breathe. I mean, you're essentially suffering. You're putting yourself through hell for San Jose State Athletics.
Kind of. I'm getting used to it though.
But I mean, with the experiences of all this, I mean, you got that exposure on, at the tournament. At you courtside seats, if I'm assuming, if I saw that correctly. What's this whole thing? Was this? I'm assuming it was completely unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. I just kept building off of it because, like I said, going back to that night, I was expecting that just to be like a one night thing because I was like, okay, this is the homecoming game that I'm just gonna show up to. This is all I'm gonna do the mask for, and then I'll show up to Halloween, and then that'll be it. But after that Halloween game, I created an Instagram account, I created a Twitter account, and then it just started catching along, and like a lot of the athletes liked the idea, so they
Mm,
were asking like, just hey, just show up to our game and show your support because either way, I'd show up to all the games anyway because I'm a big sports fan.
mm.
I love SJSU athletics no matter what. So the duck thing was just something that started catching on because all the athletes liked it. They liked the idea. So as they asked me to keep going to the games, I just kept going. So
Well, how many games? So they just telling you, hey, they gave you a pass and you're in, or like how is it? Like the student
oh
section
yes,
gets a discount? How's that go down?
yeah, students get in for free. So that's kind of
Oh,
a
there you
really
go.
big thing. And then like yeah, I'm a
Oh,
big
so
college athletic.
how many games have you been to in one day?
In one day, the most. Ooh, I'd like to say I remember it was on a Friday. I remember it started in the morning at like 9 a.m. at beach volleyball. And so I'd like to say 5 or 6. It was crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, it started in the morning. I went to beach volleyball. Then I went to the tennis event. Then I went back to beach volleyball because they had another match. Then I went to softball. Then I went. I think yeah they had a baseball game as well. And then I went back to on campus and watched the senior game for the women's basketball team. So it was a packed day. I
I
remember I put
mean,
on the mask at 8 a.m. and I didn't take it off until like 8:30 p.m.
oof.
It was great.
Oh man, that you had to have some relief on that one.
Oh heck
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yep.
But I mean, sick. I mean, the support. I mean, I got to put it out there now. We'll clip this or whatever. We got to tell SJSU athletics somehow to help you out with the ventilation. We gotta help my man out here, guys. Because I mean, hey, he's out there supporting the athletics, doing giving it his all. He's out there in a hoodie and triple digit weather with a rubber duck mask on. At least y'all get it's the school of engineering. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
We can't come up with a duck mask that's got some ventilation.
Yeah, get like a little airflow device, connected to the side.
That should be the goal. By the end of your sophomore year, by the end of this coming year, you should have a ventilated mask.
I got you. Yeah. Oh, that's something.
You should have that. We got to find some way to get that going
Yeah,
because my goodness, man,
because
that is
yeah.
long amount of hours and a whole lot of just excitement for the athletic program, which is nice to see because there's a lot of ups and downs with those programs. So
Yeah.
you guys know that we got hey, it's not just Crazy George out here. We got other people who are actually legitimately and just as a freshman as well. So have you I'm going to assume you're a San Jose native?
I live an hour away, so it's not too far.
Okay. So was this like as a kid you kind of grew up? It was a goal to get to San Jose State. Like, how did this all come into fruition?
Okay, so it's kind of complicated. It's a long story. It's a lot of connections. So I grew up in the state of Nebraska. So following college sports is just like part of my DNA. Because of course, I'll be honest with you, there's nothing else to do in Nebraska except watch college sports. So like yeah, like every Saturday you'd make your way out to Lincoln, watch the football team, and like every like other week, like you'd go out and watch the rest of the college sports because like I said, there's nothing else to do in Nebraska. So
Yeah.
I just grew up watching a lot of college football, college sports like that. So when I got here to California in about 2014, I was like, I haven't really heard much about California sports because like of course you hear about like UCLA, USC, all the programs down south. But
SoCal and
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, I got up here in Northern California. I was like, damn, this part right here is like not as deep rooted as it is like back out east.
Yeah. It's a
So
little different.
yeah, so yeah, I was like, okay, so I kind of like distance myself a little bit from college sports because of course it was just something that wasn't like too deep rooted in
Mhm.
here. So I just kept living my life as regular, going to high school and stuff like that. And the only time I really heard about and like started paying attention to San Jose State was during the application process of going into college.
Mm.
And of course, yeah, like I said, I was a freshman this year at 2021. But like during the entire application process, I was just noticing that San Jose State's athletic program was actually, the football team won the championship. Like
Yep.
that entire season was just covered by the news. So I started getting like a lot of just news about that and just a lot of knowledge about that.
DAC, it wasn't always like that, my
Yeah,
friend.
exactly.
I'm just,
Yeah,
it wasn't always like
that's
that.
what I was about to say. Because I remember like before that, like the only times I'd heard about San Jose State was like they were kind of struggling and all that type of stuff.
Mhm.
I looked at their past record. I was like, what? Like they don't have like 3 wins in like a 3-year span or something.
Yeah, it was. I had gotten here because I'm from Texas, so I
Mhm.
came here when I was like 9, 10 years old, and I got that same kind of vibe. It didn't seem
Yeah,
and I mean Texas football. I mean that's
it's a religion out
as
there.
exactly. So just to kind of, it's definitely different. A little bit of a culture shock, especially when you get to Northern California.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, seeing the team throughout my time, there's been ups, there's been downs. I've seen James Jones when he was there, and everybody else like that. It's just been my brother-in-law played with James Jones.
Okay.
We had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. So I mean, we've had a connection with San Jose State for some time. When
Gotcha.
going to the games or anything else like that, like a kid. I never went to school there, but the being able to go to the athletics and stuff like that, because again, as somebody who's from Texas and grew up with sports being a big thing, that turned into, it got local we got to go to somewhere. We had
Yeah.
to do something. Let's go to a football game. Let's go. So I mean, but again, just to see the fandom and the effort and really the time to put into it, and doing that all while going to school at the same
Yeah.
time. So, and all as a freshman, if that doesn't already show the work ethic and the drive that you already show now, when you get to be out of college, it's hey,
Woo.
sky's the limit, my friend.
Yep. Yep.
Sky's the limit. But
So,
I appreciate you coming on here and talking with us a little bit. Again, San Jose State, let's figure something out. Let's get some ventilation. Let's get something from my guy here. All right. I will be seeing you during the football season.
oh
I
yeah.
know
Hey,
that for sure.
definitely. Yeah.
We will see you guys down there. We'll be covering the team all next year and everything too. So be able to see you down there, and Crazy George and everybody else down there. You guys show some support for San Jose State athletics.
Yep.
You can't. I don't think you can be as big a fan as this guy. I don't think you have it in you to put the effort. Hey, who knows? We might see some more super
Yep.
fans come out like that, because of this. This
Yeah,
might
that's kind of
be.
my goal. That's kind of my goal. Kind of
We
why I
might
started this
have a,
podcast.
a, a whole zoo at San Jose State at
We'll
some
see.
point. We'll
I
see
like
what
that
happens.
idea.
But Dak, again, I appreciate you, my man. Try and stay cool. Get that mask off. Relax. Go have a good time. Appreciate you for coming on, ladies and gentlemen. Dak, the San Jose State University Duck. We appreciate you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. We'll see you later.
Yep. Stay blessed and make sure to keep chasing that bread.
Absolutely, my friend.